I was gonna ask because you are working all the time and you're working on like so many different projects, like from documentaries to music videos to just commercials in general. Like, do you feel like you have some sort of style the way you go about it, or do you adapt project to project?
I feel like definitely when I have a choice, I have like a distinct style. I really like maximalism. I'm really drawn to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really drawn to like spaces that feel like somebody's home
Mm-hmm.
and somebody's personal world. So my favorite thing to make are like definitely bedroom sets or like really cluttered like living rooms, spaces that feel really authentic. But you don't always get to do that. So for commercial jobs and jobs where there's a client that I distinctly have to report to, I adapt my style to whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
So if the director asks you for something, like you have to make it happen. You can't say no ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really we've learned how to like problem solve a lot in our department. There's a lot of last minute like running to stores and painting something a different color because somebody wanted it a different color
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. But you do it all with like a smile on your face and you know that the end result is going to be something that everybody like wants.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What do you mean by maximalism?
I mean like things that are like larger than life. Like my favorite director is Baz Luhrmann, if
Mm.
that says anything.
Oh,
So,
what some of his work?
he did most recently Elvis.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But my favorite movie of all time is Moulin Rouge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like fantastic. Everyone should see it if they haven't. It's like a musical with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor, and it's just like larger than life. It's beautiful, and the style of that is very just like in your face, and there's a lot to look at, a lot going on the screen, and all of that has like a distinct purpose too. It's like clutter with intention, and I would say
Mm.
that that's my favorite style to do.
Mm. If like we were to see like a snapshot of your bedroom, would it look like that?
Yes.
Okay, that makes
It's
sense.
it's very like there's pictures everywhere and there's signs and there's posters and there's just things that remind me of myself
Uh-huh.
in like a non-narcissistic way.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like a giant bookshelf with all of my favorite books and everything is kind of decorated and placed intentionally. So it's like when I clean my room, I kind of gaslight myself and I'm like, I'm dressing a set
Mm-hmm.
to try and get myself to like tidy up. But yep, I've always been drawn to that style. I feel like my bedroom has looked kind of a different variation of the same thing since I've been about 12.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't think that's narcissism at all. I mean, it's your art. Like that's just your self-expression. That's who you are.
yeah, it's definitely self expression, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's some of your favorite pieces that you've made?
Ooh, I, oh, let me think. A lot of the stuff that I've made, I feel like that I'm really proud of has been more collaborative. So we just put out the Eve's Tumor video for Heaven Surrounds Us Like a Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out in January, and that was one of my favorite things that I've done recently. Um,
Was it is that a music video?
yep, it's a
Mm-hmm.
music video for the band Eve's Tumor,
Okay.
and they're fantastic, like that band. Really like their new work that they've been putting out. But we, like me in the art department, we worked to like paint this giant room in this abandoned school pink from top to bottom. And I don't know if I would even count that as a piece, but it kind of counts.
That
It was
sounds
like
so much fun.
it was insane. Like it was like Olympic style like painting, I would say. In just a school with no heat and no electricity, and it was January, so we were all bundled up. Just
Sounds about right.
going after it for like we had a full like 10-hour day, 10
Uh,
to 12 hours of just painting straight through. And it was perfect by the time we all got back like
h-
the next day.
how many cans of paint?
Of a lot. Like I think like maybe like 10.
Really?
I don't even think we use them all because I definitely still have some of them in my
Nice.
storage that I've been using for other things. But it was a it was a long day for us. But I was so proud of it because we did this really cool 360 shot where you saw the entire space. And that was awesome because you could just like see every single inch of this room that we had painted perfectly.
Mhm. Oh my God, that's got to
And so,
be the art department's like fever dream
oh
of like
yeah.
getting the 360 shot,
Oh yeah.
everything.
That's what our production designer, like producer Megan, who's fantastic, that's what she was saying. She was like, "This is like art heaven here. Like you see every single thing because most of the time with art you see like about 75% of our work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like we know that it's there and you could see this, so we have to have it done just in case. But in this case, you saw everything, so that was really satisfying.
Right.
So that's definitely one of my favorites. I'm trying to think of something else that I love that I've done. I think my first big build is something I'm always going to be super proud of. It was an isolation room that I did for a Strange Music video, and it was huge for me to like just be able to conceptualize that and do it in real time, because you can't really Google like how do I make an isolation room? Like you can try, but you're not going to get like a definitive answer. So it was a lot of just trial and error of like what's going to work, what's going to give us the right texture, and we ended up using like mattress pads behind canvas and then using like a nail gun to like put it in different spots. And
Oh, that's so cool.
yep, we had 2 full days to do it, and we got it done, and I was so sore after, and that was my first time I was like in charge of a build. It was just me and an assistant, and it was perfect. Like that video looks fantastic, and that's the first time I got to work with the Strange Music guys, and I've gotten to work with them a few times since, like quite a few times since, which has been so awesome every time. And it's just that's always something that I'm going to remember is like my first time being like, okay, I can really do this now.
Right.
So
One of the things I think that's like really really cool about art department is like that creativity aspect of making something look the way you want it to look. Because in person it doesn't have to be practical.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it can be like ridiculous. It can be like mattress pads or whatever. But if it looks the part, then it works.
that's perfect. Yeah.
So I always like when there's like this like mad dash of figuring something out on set to make it happen, and you just like are with art especially, you're allowed to really like think completely out of the box and just like make something look the way it looks or the way you want it to look using whatever you have.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I have like the giant kit that I have on me at all times. It's
Mhm.
like it's huge and it's like just like a treasure box basically full
Yeah.
of things.
It's so big you need your trolley behind you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's on wheels, like I can't carry it without it. So
Yeah, I've said this to you before on set that you have some of the best on-set swag that I've come across.
that
With
has
the
not
trolley,
left my mind.
with the always pulling the what do you call it? It's your cart,
I call it my art kit.
your art
Like
kit.
that's my art kit. And it's
Uh-huh.
also like my stool when I'm having lunch outside and stuff.
It's got the 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah, it's all terrain.
all
Like,
terrain.
It goes through anything.
Exactly, and it's always with you. You're always pulling up. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, every single time. I think I've got like maybe 1 or 2 jobs that you're not on, but almost every other one, it's like I'm like expecting you to be there in some sort of whatever job it is.
Oh yeah, it's always so great when I see you on the call sheet too. Like it's Kansas City Film is just so small that like
Mhm.
you're always gonna know somebody there. You're always gonna have a friend there,
Mhm.
which is so awesome. And like
Yeah,
I love that.
you were actually like the first person that I met here in Kansas City in the film community, and might be the first person I met like outside of my friends were here that were like getting me to come to KC in the first place. But you immediately plugged me, and I'm like so grateful for that that little coffee date we got at Messenger.
Oh yeah,
Where you were just like
that was so
telling me, you
fun.
just like filled me in so much on the Kansas City film scene. I'm so grateful for it, like honestly.
Oh, okay,
It-
good.
like,
I'm
so-
like I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah,
Like
no, like
honestly.
it was literally like gold information that you were giving me, especially someone who just gotten here and knew nobody and knew like I was like
Yeah.
honestly not even really aware if Casey had a film scene.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome because I literally you gave me so much hope because I was like, oh shit, there is a film scene here. I can get work.
Yay.
Like yeah, and it was amazing. And you said something earlier that made me laugh a little bit. About how like you were in that room, it was like January and you guys were freezing and you were bundled up. There's something about the KC film productions that's either you're sweating your ass off
Oh my god.
or you're freezing.
Yes.
There's like I
They're
have
never
yet to have a
comfortable.
scene. I've never had a production where I'm like, this is nice. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying myself unless it's in like air conditioned indoors.
Oh yeah, unless it's like a studio shoot, and even then it's like you're still running and you're
Mhm.
still gonna be like gross at the end of the day. But like, yeah, you're never comfortable.
Yeah.